Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about, again, why I just keep getting more and more bullish on the Atropa ecosystem. I'm continuously listening to the videos, interviews with Maria from Europe, and I'm breaking them down into little bite-sized chunks so people can actually understand. And so I can understand. So as I learn, I convey. And one of the things that I've really noticed is this pattern of how sells are being converted into buys. So what do I mean? In normal cryptocurrencies, sell pressure is the thing which actually kills it. What you want is buy pressure. Buy pressure gives it life. So what the Atropa ecosystem has actually done by the virtue of its design, it's created something that is removing negative sell pressure and adding positive buy pressure by the function of its design. So this is very exciting. So I've got three little points here that I'm going to go through. So one is the set of burn liquidities. Two is the way that it's designed as a self-sustaining system. And three, the fact that it's a higher barrier for entry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the charts here. And I'm, again, always using this example again and again because it's very important to understand this. So here we have, here we have a base chain token. This is one of thousands. And there's also tokens like this on Pulse Chain, just for the record. So what actually happens here, it goes up to a certain market cap. So whatever it did there, 46X, yippee-ki-yay, then dump, little bit of buy, dump, little bit of buy, and then basically everybody capitulates as it dumps down because everybody's crapping their pants because they just know there's nowhere else to go. And the reason why that is because this POM is only bonded to Ethereum. That's it. There's nowhere else to go. You exit out in Ethereum. So basically you have nowhere to go. Now, what actually happens with the Atropa ecosystem through a set of burnt liquidities, that sell pressure, which actually occurs, where's my little, so this sell pressure here, if we have here, can I get it? Right, bingo. So if here, let's say here is where it's a critical point, or perhaps even here. So these are some critical levels here. Actually, we'll just go here. So here's a critical level. It needs to kind of survive this level, but it just dives all the way through. So what actually happens here is the market capitulates. They fear because it's just down. Now, in the Atropa ecosystem, that same phenomena, instead of the people who own the tokens actually selling, what actually happens is those people that could be selling, instead of it coming down, what actually happens is they're creating a new floor with burnt liquidity. So they convert their sell pressure into buy pressure. That means those people are not selling onto the market, and then it actually encourages new buyers with a chart that has a fault bottom floor. So it stops going down. So then new buyers enter into the market and it starts to go up. So what we're going to actually see here, I imagine, I'm hoping, is we're going to see a nice little breakout here, maybe even a little pullback, who knows, and then a nice little breakout. This is what I'm hoping for. Then the anticipation is we're going to have another little bear season with the Atropa ecosystem that's going to last for, let's just say, a month or two. And what's actually going to happen, this thesis, if it continues to play out, it will have some kind of fault bottom floor. So it will land around here. So what that means is it's going to create another higher low. So the people who are participating in the ecosystem, instead of becoming sellers, they become liquidity providers by burning the liquidity. And then new people that are entering into the market have the confidence that they're not going to be sold onto. This is what actually happens here. These people are afraid that they're going to be sold onto, so there's a rush to exit. So again, the sell pressure is converted into buy pressure. A negative is turned into a positive. A negative is turned into a positive. This is a negative, and it remains a negative. I hope that's very clear, because when that clicked to me yesterday, I was like, good Lord, that is so good. Now, it's also designed as a self-sustaining system. So as we've seen, so this is SteadyPub. This is one of the maps, the liquidity maps. So within Atropa, you don't actually need to exit out of the system. So if we look at POM, there's nowhere else to go. It's POM back into Ethereum. That's it. So I've got my little glass of water here. So let's imagine this glass of water is the liquidity. So this is POM and Ethereum. But with the Atropa ecosystem, this is all the different networks of token. And so what's actually happening is those people who enter into the ecosystem and become bullish on the ecosystem, they don't need to sell out of it and exit the system. There's market participants now that are really understanding the value of the Atropa ecosystem. So they're entering into the system They're not going back out into pulse chain. Some of them will, no doubt about that. But they're going from Atropa to PDI, back to Atropa, then to down, then to legal, then to bear, whatever it is, wherever the ratios are good. So that liquidity is staying in there. And then the new money that flows in, all that happens is the jar just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it keeps filling up. Now, this jar is actually not big enough. This is the beauty. This is why, in my opinion, the Atropa ecosystem is just infinitely scalable, because if you imagine this cycle of liquidity that exists here, it can continuously spiral upwards as more liquidity flows into it. If people have the conviction in the ecosystem and continue to trade within the ratios of the tokens within the ecosystem, because it's a self-sustaining ecosystem, there's no need to exit. We're creating P stables here. Why would I exit? Why would I exit out of there, convert it into P stables when it's already within the ecosystem? It's like a new decentralized financial ecosystem. Please, oh my goodness, you have to start getting it. I can't contain my excitement. The more that I learn, the more that I deliver it. It's like, this is brilliant. And then what does this mean then? What does this mean for what does this mean for Atropa? This is just, it has no top. What would the top be? It's just going to continue to go up, just like the stock market. It's just going to keep going up forever and forever and forever, because the money printer that creates the S&P 500 up and to the right is just new money entering into the ecosystem, new liquidity. So it's an upward spiraling system that is self-sustaining if people, again, have the conviction to stay within the ecosystem. Finally, the other major point is it has a high barrier for entry. Some people consider this to be a negative externality. I don't. The way that Maria explained it, there's no website, no white paper, everything is just on chain. So what does that mean? It requires analysis. It requires people to actually do some digging and looking into it and seeing, oh, I see what's going on here, like the OGs that were in Atropa before I was, the hardcore ones, the ones that were really trying to work out PDI and Atropa. These guys are the ones, these guys are the ones that really carried that flag on their back. Thanks to them. Well, of course, thanks to Maria. And then thanks to them, this is how we all found out about it. This is how I found out about it. So my gratitude to those guys for actually doing the on-chain analysis, because honestly, that's probably not something that I was ever good at. I've started to learn those skills as I've gotten involved in the Atropa ecosystem. So I'm seeing, as I'm looking at the evidence is there. The on-chain analysis is the evidence. So there's no need to trust anything or anyone. The evidence is there. I don't need to trust, oh, this website, it looks good, but could it be a rug pull? Like that POM, the website was great. Had a great Twitter, great Telegram, but it was still a freaking rug pull. It's garbage. We don't want any of that in the ecosystem. So it actually only attracts people who are willing to do the analysis. So what does that mean? The people who actually, as soon as they enter into the ecosystem with that mindset of analysis and understanding, they are net buyers because they're believers. The more that I understand, I'm all in. I'm going to be all in on this next dip. I'm probably going to get rid of all my Pulse chain and PulseX for it, and it's going to harm a few maxis hearing that, the people who do love Pulse chain, and I love Pulse chain too. Honestly, what I would love is to enter big positions of Pulse chain, do a 2x, and then take my Pulse chain back out and then just keep growing my Atropa stack like that. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But when I say all in, I mean I'm going to be all in and then taking back out my Pulse chain. So hopefully by the end, I'll always have that same bag of Pulse chain, but my Atropa stack is just going to keep growing up and up and up. That's my hope for what I'm actually going to attempt to achieve with the Atropa ecosystem. But those people become forever net buyers. They don't want to exit the ecosystem. If this plays out the way that I think it will play out, I never, ever want to leave the ecosystem. I want to stay in there for as long as this blockchain is alive. There's really no reason to exit. I can just sit in P stables. I can sit in my liquidity providing. I can generate yield. This is what Maria wants. Maria wants elites. The people who don't do analysis, they just look at websites, they just look at the pictures and the logos, and yeah, they're buying. They're the Jeets. They're the ones that create negative sell pressure. So again, that negative sell pressure turns into a positive because it creates net positive buyers. So, man, again, yes, very excited, too excited. I've done too many videos today, no book reading. I've got to get to my meditation class, but my God, how can you not be so ridiculously bullish about this? The more that I learn, the more that I convey, I'm just like, I'm beaming, man. This is the best. We're so blessed. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Pulse Chain. Thank you, all the people who did the on-chain analysis. Thank you, community. I love you guys. This is the greatest ecosystem. Take care.